Hello ma'am, this is Elsa, you are 14CS208 and this is my experiment about symbol table. Symbol table is a data structure that contains a record for each identifier with fields for attributes and identifier. Attributes tells about the storage allowed for the identification and all. Then during the lexical analysis, the identifier will be stored in the symbol table. These are my header files used, and then this is a class, and then with this private this is a private I'm initializing this as a private, all this type R type in it, and then I am using a class and then I am initializing this class values. I am initializing R type with type null init null, and then the for value I am initializing this type null, and all this also I am initializing. Then I have a display class. I am displaying all my type init R type parameter and parameter type values. Then I have a symbol table for that class, and then it throws file not found exception and IO exception. It uses buffer reader. Buffer reader is used to read from a file. This is my file path, and this is my file which contains the input. Then I am initializing a new hash table for storing all my identifiers. If in this experiment, if it first get my expression as an input, and then separate each and every expression into a token, and if a token is an identifier, then it will generate an entry in the symbol table with identifier's name and its data type, and then it will check if it's data type of each identifier, and then assign the corresponding its memory location. Then it will check hash table. Then after that I have another class called display class. Then I am using a for loop to display string key. I am checking if the next element is a keyword and all. And then for the hash table, I am using string key equal to this. I am checking if any of my keywords, initializing key with all the keywords. Then for the identifier, I am initializing ID. Then for the value, I am initializing val, and then cval for all values, and then sval for all this. And then if my line contains this value or this, it will call this new string function and all. Then if my word matches word 0 matches any of the R type, that is keywords or identifier of any, it will display it will display this, or if it doesn't match, it will show error. And if in the same way, if word 1 matches the identifier, that is if key ID equal to word, then it will display the function name error. Then I am using a for loop. If my word matches any of my keywords, it will increment the parameter and parameter type plus where I am using parameter type plus word. Else, if my string type equal to new string, and then I am initializing k equal to 0 and j equal to 0, then I am using a pattern called compile, and then I am using a mk.find function. Then I am using a splitter, which then it is used to find words length, and then using a for loop. If my word matches with any of the keyword, then type equal to word, or if word matches ID, then it will increment k. If word matches space or punctuation mark, it will break, and then if all this, if it matches, it will display. And then this is for the private class for splitter. I'm using line equal to replace and replace all. Then I'm using a string tokenizer to delimiter using a space. Then using a for loop, I equal to has more tokens, it will display all the values. The output for my experiment is this is my output. It will display all the values which I have given. Thank you for watching.